Hi, and welcome to the Adaptation and Evolution TCI test. You will be allowed to use this read aloud. If you choose to use the read aloud, please mark that you have used it at the end of the test. You're going to start with your last name, first name, which hour you have me for science. Question number 1. You're reading a magazine article about the Galapagos Islands and come across an image about Darwin's work there. You know that the Galapagos finches are closely associated with Darwin's work on natural selection and evolution. Which feature of the Galapagos finches, visible in the image below, impressed Darwin? A. Certain species of Galapagos finches had unusual reproductive behaviors. B. Each species of finch had a distinctive beak that was well suited to the finch's diet. C. Some Galapagos finches changed during their lifetimes to become better suited to living in the environment. D. Galapagos finches were able to survive despite the many different kinds of predators that live on the island. 2. What was Darwin's designated role on the Beagle? A. Documenting the journal as the ship's journalist. B. Studying animals and plants as the ship's naturalist. C. Providing food for the crew as the ship's cook. D. Taking care of the passengers as the ship's surgeon. 3. What argument did geologist Charles Lyell make that would later become important to Darwin's work in South America? A. The Earth's age was impossible to calculate. B. Some of Earth's features resulted from gradual processes over long time periods. C. Earth's features were created within a short period of time and have not yet changed. D. Land formations in South America cannot be found anywhere else in the world. 4. What question regarding the traits of the Galapagos finches did Darwin consider for many years? A. How had an original finch been modified in different ways for different purposes? B. Why were these finches only found in certain parts of the world? C. Why couldn't finches with narrow beaks consume a diet of seeds in addition to insects? D. How did this great variety of finch species survive in the same ecosystem? 5. Darwin used the Galapagos finches as evidence that A. Traits are not hereditary. B. Living things change over time. C. Birds are different than other species. D. Organisms in a species have no relation to one another. 6. According to Darwin, blank in species could result from many blank over long periods of time. A. Population growth and births. B. Mating and interactions. C. Big changes and small changes. D. Extinctions and deaths. 7. Eventually, Darwin realized that all living things were engaged in a blank because there were not enough resources for them all. A. Genetic ritual. B. Fight to the death. C. Temporary competition. D. Struggle for existence. 8. What led Darwin to his idea of natural selection? A. Individuals had certain traits that made them more successful. B. The Galapagos finches had a unique method of adaptation. C. Ecosystems with limited resources fostered great biodiversity. D. All of the above. 9. A group of individuals of the same species that live and reproduce in the same place is called A or an A. Community. B. Population. C. Organization. D. Civilization. 10. Individuals in a population are not all A. Compatible. B. Identical. C. The same species. D. Living in one ecosystem. 11. Organisms must blank in order for their traits to be passed to the next generation. A. Communicate. B. Die. C. Migrate. D. Reproduce. 12. In addition to traits that improve survival, what type of trait does natural selection favor? A. Those that help organisms attract mates. B. Those that help organisms reproduce successfully. C. Both A and B. D. Neither A nor B. 13. What does genetic variation describe? A. Similarities in the inherited traits of different individuals. B. Similarities between species in an ecosystem. C. Differences in inherited traits of different individuals. D. Differences between various species mating preferences. 14. When individuals with certain inherited traits are more likely to survive and reproduce than those with less favorable traits, blank occurs. A. Genetic selection. B. Natural selection. C. Favored survival. D. Struggle for existence. 15. How did the Industrial Revolution in England affect the habitat of a population of peppered moths? A. Toxic runoff from factories flooded the moth's habitat, affecting many species. B. Coal burning released soot into the air, killing the light-colored lichens on the trees. C. Humans cut down more trees for use in logging operations, destroying moth's habitat. D. The Industrial Revolution had little to no impact on peppered moth's habitat. 16. In what way did the peppered moth population respond to this environmental impact caused by the Industrial Revolution? A. The moths could no longer survive in the ecosystem, so the population died out. B. The moths lost the ability to camouflage entirely, so they evolved other adaptations. C. The proportion of light moths increased and the proportion of dark moths decreased. D. The proportion of dark moths increased and the proportion of light moths decreased. 17. Which statement about adaptations is true? A. They are inherited. B. They develop quickly. C. They cannot change over time. D. They are the same in every species. 18. How did English scientist Dr. Kettlewell test the predatory bird explanation for the evolution of peppered moths? A. He released marked moths and later captured the survivors. B. He monitored the sizes of the bird and moth populations for a generation. C. He tracked the moth's habitat to observe if to see if the birds were eating the moths. D. He removed the birds from the moth's habitat to see if their absence would affect the moth population. 19. Kettlewell's experiments showed that in both unpolluted and polluted habitats, camouflage moths had about twice the blank of surviving than non-camouflage ones. A. Determination. B. Experience. C. Luck. D. Probability. 20. One day while visiting a park, you come across a large number of beetles. Some of the beetles are green and some of them beetles are yellow. You notice that the green beetles blend in with their leafy environment. However, the yellow beetles stand out, as you can see in the photo below. You conclude that the green beetles are better camouflaged than the yellow ones from predators. How do you predict the beetle color in this population will evolve over time? A. Yellow beetles have a greater chance of surviving and reproducing and will become more common in the future. Uh-oh. Ah, hold on. B. Green beetles have a greater chance of surviving. Oh my goodness, what am I doing? Reproducing and will become more populated. C. Yellow beetles have a smaller chance of surviving and reproducing and will become more reduced. D. Neither type of beetle will become more common in the population because they will have the same number. 21. You were studying a population of fish. You noticed that some of the males are plain silver while other males have bright colors. One of the bright males is shown in the photo below. You discover that females prefer to mate with bright males. As a result, bright males have an average of 3.5 offspring each. Dull-colored males left an average of 2 offspring each. How do you predict this fish population will evolve? A. The population will not evolve. B. Dull males will become more commonplace in the population. C. Bright males would become more commonplace in the population. D. Dull and bright males would become equally common in the population. 22. You're studying a population of fish in which individuals come in 2 different colors. Some fish are silver and others are gold. You wonder if predators are more likely to eat one type of fish. You decide to follow the population over several months. During this time, you observed that 15% of silverfish are eaten by predators, while 23% of goldfish are eaten by predators. How do you predict this fish population will evolve? A. The population will not evolve. B. Goldfish will become more common in the population. C. Silverfish will become more common in the population. Or D. Silver and goldfish will become equally common in the population. 23. An explanation or model based on observation and evidence that's used to explain a natural phenomenon is called A variety, B conclusion, C theory, D hypothesis. 24. When an animal blends in or disguises itself in its surroundings, it is using the adaptation of A, evolution, B, mimicry, C, variety, D, camouflage. 25. When an organism, like the walking stick pictured, resembles another species in behavior, look, smell, or sound, it's called A, evolution, B, mimicry, C, variety, D, camouflage.